Good evening, Belize. Tonight, pressure builds on the future of public transportation as dozens of rural bus operators meet with government in Belmopan. In Belize City, a community is shaken. 19-year-old Lamar Garnett is gunned down steps from his home. Gunfire sending neighbors running for cover, and across the country, grief. Belize mourns the loss of beloved pediatrician Dr. Cecilio Eck. We'll also take you to a milestone celebration for Holy Redeemer Credit Union and show you how a viral outcry for forced, long overdue repairs at a major sporting facility in Orange Walk. News 5 starts now. Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, May 15th. I'm Jamie Rock. For years, Belizeans have complained about late buses, aging fleets, overcrowding, and unreliable service. More than 60 rural bus operators met with government officials in Belmopan today, turning up the pressure on the future of Belize's public transportation system. With fuel subsidies approved and fares already adjusted, both the Ministry of Transport and the Belize Bus Association says it's time to focus on modernization and better service for commuters. Transport Minister Dr. Luis Zabane called the meeting a key step in tackling long-standing operator concerns, while the association's president says the talks show both sides are aligned on one goal: delivering a better ride for Belizeans.
It's been a year since we have been engaged with the highway operators, and we had asked them to kindly be patient with us, and we now have the first meeting with all of them from across the country to discuss the issues that are affecting them, and in particular for us to get their ideas on how we could modernize that sector of the bus industry. We know that as in the highway sector, that they also have challenges of excessive competition on their roads. They have unique settings because many of their the roads that they traverse are in poor condition. So as you heard today, they shared some of that with us. But basically it's now to find out how we're going to move forward after having done that on the highway system.
We can see the intention on both parties to improve the service and to better the service for the commuters. And it's a shared effort on the government and the operators' part to ensure that the commuters wasn't being overburdened by the price. Hence the reason why the subsidy was given to offset the high costs in increase by the bus operators. So we have a very cordial relationship and we communicate daily, and we're grateful for that.
This is the first of a number of meetings. We're going to have meetings in the districts and then come back together and make a decision as a sector on how we move forward.
Just days after bus fares jumped, government says it's moving to deliver relief for operators at the pump. CEO Chester Williams thanked operators for their patience as the Transport Ministry fine-tunes a reimbursement portal tied to the new fuel subsidy. The deal followed tense negotiations and a nationwide bus blockade that forced both sides back to the table. Now, officials say they're double-checking every claim to ensure it matches the agreement before retroactive payments roll out.
We have discussed the matter with the president of the BBA, trying to finalize how the submission is going to look like. We have come to that agreement. We have received the first submissions from the bus operators, and so it's just a matter of the team that we assemble at the ministry to go through the verification process. And once that is done, then we will disburse money to the operators. So it's going well, I must say. We're grateful to the operators for their patience, because they were supposed to receive their first payment this week, but that did not occur because we were still working out on the submissions. So next week they should receive their first payment for this week and next week.
What's in place to prevent over-reporting of the amount of fuel used?
Well, that's the reason why we have the check-in system. They submit by 4 p.m. on Monday, and then we pay by Wednesday, Thursday of the same week. So it gives the team at the ministry the time to be able to do the investigation and verify that the submissions are accurate. I must say that in the initial process, each bus operators have submitted an estimated amount of fuel that they consume per month, based on the historical data. So if we were to see that for a particular month they go well above that normal figure, then that would raise a red flag. I wouldn't mind they go below, but if they go above, then that's an issue.
Some bus operators were left out of the deal, so government is now trying to catch up. Today, Transport Minister Louis Zabane met separately with operators from the Toledo district after concerns they were excluded from key talks. Unlike others, Toledo operators aren't part of the Belize Bus Association and didn't take part in negotiations over the fuel subsidy and fare hikes. Now, the ministry says it's making sure those operators understand how to access the subsidy so they don't get left behind as reforms roll out.
When we met with the BBA at the time, and President is here, we from their lists, they were not members of the BBA. So afterwards, they contacted us and said, "But we're not on this list." And so we met with them just to hear out a little bit about, get to know them a little bit more, and that's basically what we did. And now everybody, I think, is on the same page. Would you agree, Mr. President, that we can now move forward because everybody understands, as CEO just said, what the process is to get their funds for the subsidies?
The biggest complaints from rural bus operators today had little to do with fuel prices or fares and everything to do with survival on Belize's highways. Operators say an oversaturated permit system has created fierce competition on the roads, forcing buses into dangerous races for passengers and putting commuters at risk. At today's transport meeting in Belmopan, Dr. Louis Zabane acknowledged the problem, saying years of political interference in the issuance of road service permits helped create the chaos now facing the industry. The ministry says a moratorium is currently in place on new permits as government attempts to bring order to a system operators say has been broken for decades.
We have had, sadly, since the mid-2000s, after the situation with the consolidation of the Novello company, where at that point in time, before that collapse occurred, the consolidation had ended up with the Novello Group and then with James Bus Line. After that, when the DFC fiasco, if you will, happened, ministers of transport and the transport department gave out permits to persons who were asking for these road service permits across the country in a manner that is clearly not in the best interest of commuters, because you're ending up having a lot of competition with all these road service permits being issued. So many times it was because some political favor was being done or whatever the case may be, and there was not a proper system in place rationalizing public interests, because clearly that's what we ended up with and why we had to come with the solutions that we're now engaged in with the National Bus Company on the highways.
Rising costs are squeezing Belize's small bus operators, and many are now questioning if they can survive alone. At today's meeting, some rural operators floated the idea of joining the National Bus Company, hoping it could offer the stability they've been missing. That interest picked up after former Northern Transit owner Noel Codd praised the model as a lifeline for a struggling industry. Still, Transport Minister Louis Zabané says government sees a different path, suggesting many operators may be better off under a franchise-style system instead.
Biggest thing is the commuters, they deserve better. And the type of bus that we had are not the best, and I can't afford a bus for 500,000 up to 800,000 like what the minister said. Those ones are very expensive. And joining the team, it makes it much easier. We have 17 of us in the company. When we buy by bulk. It comes out cheaper. When we have any breakdown, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't have to get up 3 o'clock in the morning. The company takes care of that. Fuel, tires, you name it. And the biggest thing I don't have to worry about is the hanging within each buses. Like I had this problem with Westline before, but now Westline and Northern Transit are on one team. So if like Westline picks up all the passengers, I have no problem because the money will still come into our account.
Some of them suggested that perhaps we could look at company structure where they could now become shareholders and benefit from economies of scale, lower costs, and that sort of thing.
Coming up, a cyberbullying case once tossed aside is suddenly back in court and raising eyebrows. Prosecutors revived the matter involving CEO Chester Williams, fueling fresh questions. Was there high-level influence at play?
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "And Abraham said, Because I thought surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake." Probably two of the most dangerous words ever spoken are the words, "I thought." How many rumors have been started, conflicts initiated, marriages broken up, relationships destroyed, reputations shattered because of two words, "I thought." A person is confronted who has begun a rumor, and often their only defense is, "I thought." Abraham lied about his wife Sarah. Naaman refused healing from Elijah. Eli accused Hannah of being drunk when praying. Judah thought Tamar to be a harlot. Samson's wife was given to another man by his father-in-law. And all of them defended themselves by simply saying, "I thought." Sometimes "I thought" reveals more about the individual than it does about those the thought is directed against. Sometimes we only verbalize and say what we really feel in our hearts and want to believe and say. Placed on a certain church bulletin board and calculated to arrest the attention of the reader and passerby were these words, "You are not what you think you are, but what you think you are." Be careful what comes out of your mouth, for Proverbs says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Jesus Christ said, "For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh." Words are dangerous. Be careful how you use them. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Belize City, don't miss Universal Hardware's Mega Sale 2026 on Thursday, May 21st to Saturday, May 23rd. Enjoy massive discounts on every item, including Sankey AC units, Shindaiwa brush cutters, Makita power tools, Lifan motorcycles, and more. Plus, every customer gets a chance to win mega raffle items. Universal Hardware Mega Sale on Chetumal Boulevard, Belize City, May 21st to 23rd. Be there!
Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
Our story was built by people, neighbors helping neighbors, standing side by side with those who trust us to protect what matters most and help build our communities. Being there when needed most. Across borders, across generations. Still growing, still giving, still just getting started. After 185 years.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Ready, Dangriga? Something big is coming your way. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
A quiet Thursday night in the Jane Usher area was shattered by a burst of gunfire, leaving yet another young man dead in a community already on edge. 19-year-old Lamar Garnett was gunned down just after 8 o'clock, right outside his home. Residents say the shots rang out in a rapid succession, about 10 in all, sending neighbors scrambling for safety. When the gunfire subsided, Garnett lay motionless, another life lost to violence steps away from his front door. Thursday night's killing adds to a troubling pattern in the Jane Usher community, which has been grappling with a wave of violence targeting young men over the past couple of months. The area is also currently under a state of emergency as authorities work to contain escalating gang-related activity and restore a sense of calm. Despite those measures, residents continue to live in fear as deadly incidents persist with alarming frequency. Police have launched an investigation into Garnett's murder. A once-dismissed cyberbullying case is back in court and turning heads again. Prosecutors this week revived the matter involving CEO Chester Williams, prompting new questions about whether influence from high office played a role. The charge against Nicole McDonald had previously been thrown out, a decision Williams publicly criticized at the time. Now, with the case back on the docket, we asked him directly, did he have anything to do with it? Williams says no. He told us he had all but forgotten about the case and insists he was just as surprised by its revival as he was by its dismissal. Still, the sudden turnaround is fueling speculation and putting the spotlight right back on a case many thought was already closed.
A couple months ago, I noted that the matter against her was withdrawn in the courts. Of course, yes, as an aggrieved person, I was concerned that it was withdrawn without me being notified. I was not summoned to appear in court. But despite that, I kept that to myself. I did not go to anybody or ask why. I just left it as that. And I had basically forgotten about that case. And so when I saw that she was rearrested the other day, I was a bit surprised. And I noticed she gave an interview and blamed me and this, that, and a whole pile of thing. But I must say that I had no discussion with anybody. The prosecution side fit in their wisdom to reinstate the charges. That is within their purview. And so I just wait and see how it goes from there. If I were to be summoned to go to court, I would have gone to court, but I was not summoned to go to court.
And would you like to see her punished and convicted for what she did?
It's not about seeing her punished or convicted. Justice simply means that the person who is accused of committing a crime goes through the system, the court system, and whatever the court decides, at the end of the day, I'm okay with it. I do trust the justice system. The law is there, and while I know that some had criticized me for using it, the law is there for all to use. And the truth is, if a person were to post something about you on social media that is false or is posted with the intent to ridicule you or to cause you embarrassment, that fall within the limits of the law. And you can go to the police and report to police, and that person can be arrested.
Belize's top court has hit reset on the Andrew Bennett extradition case. The Caribbean Court of Justice threw out earlier rulings after finding the lower courts relied on a law that wasn't even in force at the time. At the center, WhatsApp messages the U.S. wants to use as evidence. Bennett has long argued those messages were unlawfully obtained and violated his constitutional rights. Lower courts agreed the evidence was improperly gathered, but still cleared the way for extradition, saying other evidence was enough. The CCJ says that reasoning doesn't hold up because it was based on the Interception of Communications Act, which only took effect in November 2023, years after the messages in question. The court stopped short of deciding whether the WhatsApp evidence is unconstitutional. Instead, it sent the case back to the High Court for a fresh review, giving both sides a chance to fully argue the legal boundaries around digital evidence.
At this court, it was discovered at the stage of written submissions that the Interception of Communications Act only came into force in November 2023 after the dates of both the High Court and Court of Appeal cases. The CCJ accordingly declared that the reliance on that statute by the lower courts was an error in law, or per incuriam, as the expression is historically used in a Latin phrase. The appellant sought, notwithstanding this discovery, to have the CCJ decide the appeal on the basis that the use of the WhatsApp messages was unconstitutional on broader, generally recognized principles. The bench rejected that approach and determined that the asserted but not fully argued issue of unconstitutionality on a broader, non-statutory basis could only be resolved fairly by remitting the matter to the High Court, giving the parties the fullest opportunity to pursue these arguments if they choose to do so. Having regard to the opinions expressed, the court ordered that the matter be remitted to the High Court.
There was no order as to cost in the CCJ appeal. 13 tough weeks. Early morning, relentless drills, and no room for shortcuts. Today, 49 young Belizeans crossed the finish line and into service. At Coast Guard headquarters, recruit intake number 12 graduated, marking the moment they traded trainee status for real responsibility on Belize's waters. The ceremony wasn't just about completion, it was about transformation. Commanders say these new members leave the program sharper, stronger, and ready to defend the country's maritime borders. And for the graduates, it's the start of something bigger, a commitment to protect, serve, and stand on the front lines for Belize.
I am Belize Maritime Guardian. I serve the citizens of Belize. I will protect them. I will save them. I am their shield. For them, I am the drinking paratus. I live the Coast Guard core values. I am a guardian. We are the Belize Coast Guard. Hoorah!
Today is a proud day for the Belize Coast Guard as we welcome 49 new members to our ranks. 3 months ago, the men and women standing before you arrived at this institution as civilians, young people who had made perhaps the most consequential decision of their lives to step forward and serve their country. They came with potential, with hope, and with a willingness to be tested. Today, they leave as Coast Guardsmen and Coast Guardswomen of Belize. That transformation does not happen by accident. It is earned, and every one of you have earned it.
Today marks a proud and significant milestone, not only for the 49 recruits standing before us, but also for the Belize Coast Guard and our nation as a whole. To the graduating recruits, I extend sincere congratulations on successfully completing 13 demanding weeks of military training. You have endured physical hardship, mental challenges, discipline, sacrifice, and long days of preparation to earn the privilege of standing on this parade square today.
Gratitude to the family and friends that supported the graduating class of intake number 12 along their journey. Still ahead, after days of heated debate over the HPV vaccine in schools, the Ministry of Education finally speaks out, promising to put student health first. But first, here's the weather update from the National Meteorological Service.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Greater Belize Media. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Greater Belize Media.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing star 100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
In Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with Game Changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game Changers are bringing this to life. Game Changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the Game Changers.
A wave of sadness is being felt across Belize tonight following the passing of beloved pediatrician Dr. Cecilio Eck. For decades, Dr. Shrek, as he was affectionately known, was more than just a doctor. He was a lifeline for countless children and families, known for his compassion, his humor, and his unwavering dedication to saving young lives both here and abroad. From his work as a pediatrician to his leadership with World Pediatrics, colleagues say his impact on Belize's healthcare system is immeasurable, and his absence leaves a deep void that will not be easily filled. Tonight, we look back at the life and legacy of a man many are calling irreplaceable.
Dr. Cecilio Eck built his career one small patient at a time. For more than 2 decades at Coral Grove Medical Center, he turned a doctor's office into a place kids actually looked forward to visiting. A colorful wheel of lollipops greeted patients at the door, a stash of stickers was always within arm's reach, and a small Shrek figurine watched over it all, earning him the nickname everyone knew him by, Dr. Shrek. He had a gift for making children forget they were sick and parents forget they were worried.
One of my favorite days were a time when I went for a checkup and he was being like really goofy with me, and I got a lot of stickers and I got a lollipop.
Dr. Eck's reach went far beyond his office walls. As medical director for World Pediatrics, he accompanied critically ill children on flights out of the country when surgeries could not be performed in Belize. He did it not for recognition or reward, but because, as those closest to him say, that was simply who he was.
I can't even wrap my head around how we will ever replace him. You know, our light has been dimmed, and just the way that Dr. Eck mentored us and helped us to overcome so many challenges in country. And he always ensured that we treated each family with such love and grace and kindness. And really no hill or mountain was too hard for him to climb to be able to help children in every capacity.
In July 2024, the man who had spent his life caring for the sick became a patient himself. A chance scan at the KHMH revealed stage 4 biliary tract cancer. What followed was an outpouring of national support, fundraisers, GoFundMe campaigns, and rosaries prayed by hundreds across the country. And through it all, Dr. Eck chose to speak openly about his journey.
I've chosen to make my illness public for the simple fact that I want to raise awareness for cancer. And I want everybody to not be so afraid of it.
Even as his health declined, Dr. Eck never stopped fighting, nor did he stop inspiring those around him. Colleagues say his humor, faith, and kindness remain constant, even in the most difficult moments. And that is how they say he will be remembered.
Families and the children will remember his humor. And every Christmas, we would give out so many gifts, but he refused to dress like Santa Claus. He came as he was, and always bringing so much joy to children, and all the lollipops in his pediatric center, and just brought out the best in every single person that he met. We are so humbled and privileged that we were able to be a part of Dr. Eck's career in Belize. And I know that that our nation is mourning today, but the way that he has faced this challenge is going to play a major role, because he did with faith and good grace and humor, and that's how we will remember him.
Tonight, as Belize mourns his passing, Dr. Eck's legacy will live on not only in the patients he saved, but in the countless lives he touched with compassion, kindness, and care. Reporting for News 5, I am Zenaida Lanza.
After days of mounting public debate over the HPV vaccine rollout in schools, the Ministry of Education has finally broken its silence, issuing a statement today reaffirming its commitment to student health and well-being. In a brief press release, the ministry underscored that all school-based vaccination programs are carried out in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and are guided by strict protocols that require informed parental consent before any student is vaccinated. It also stressed that these initiatives are designed to respect parental authority, promote transparency, and prioritize student safety. Notably, the statement makes no reference to concerns raised by church groups that have been at the center of the ongoing controversy. On Thursday, technical advisor at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Natalia Baer, detailed the protocol followed.
So for example, for the school-based vaccination program, what we recommend is every year we need to visit the school, have a meeting with the principal only. Secondly, a second meeting is done with the teachers. A third meeting is done with parents. Now, when the school call for PTA meetings, one of the difficulties we face is that not all parents reach. The attendance is a bit poor, no? But then the nurses have to go the extra mile, and with support from the community health workers, addressing parents on a one-to-one basis. We make sure that parents have the opportunity to receive the information about the vaccine, what is the objective, and any other question they may have to answer it before they even sign the consent form. And before they sign the consent form, they need to get this opportunity to ask all their questions. Now, what we're doing also is calling them by phone and providing them with the information so that they can get the information before signing the consent form. So that's the process that we follow. And then the fourth visit to the school is the actual vaccination. But those 3 meetings have to happen. That communication with the parents is a must.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness says it will continue to work closely with schools, parents, and healthcare providers to ensure that accurate information is shared and that all vaccination efforts remain voluntary and transparent. For generations of Belizeans, the Holy Redeemer Credit Union has been more than a place to save or borrow money. It's been a trusted partner through life's biggest moments. Today, that legacy takes center stage as HRCU celebrates more than 80 years of service alongside the very people who built it, its member owners. From first savings accounts to home loans and business ventures, the credit union continues to play a quiet but powerful role in shaping lives and communities. News 5's Paul Lopez visited HRCU's Belize City headquarters, where the story of shared success is still unfolding.
The story has been told countless times.
Father Sutty used to come over from the presbytery to try to organize the credit union, but it took him a while before these three women came forward: June Bolton, Carmen Canton, and Hazel Anderson. And that's how we started with 75 cents and three ladies. That was 82 years ago.
8 decades later, the Holy Redeemer Credit Union grew from 3 to more than 65,000 member owners. And while some members are just beginning their journey with the credit union, others have been part of the family for decades, like Corinne Robinson Fuller, who joined back in 1980 and has been invested ever since.
I stayed because the service to me as a member is phenomenal. The benefits that they provide as well. I like the fact that I get a dividend every year. Getting a loan here was easy for me too. When I built my mom's house, I got a loan to build my mom's house from the credit union, and that was a very good experience.
In celebrating more than 8 decades of service, HRCU decorated its 3 branches across the country with balloons, gave out goodies, and held grocery basket raffles, all meant to appreciate member owners. Staff members Alejandra Velasquez and Nigel Alvarado spent the morning greeting member owners as they exited the building.
Oh, I feel really good. I feel honored because I know that we have done a great job serving them, and like they say, their customer service is always on point, so I'm happy to hear that.
After all, the member owners are our bosses, and they're the ones that have us here, right? So without them, we wouldn't have been here 82 years later, no?
Human Resource Manager Mark Menzies acknowledged that this space within HRCU's headquarters is more than just a line of member owners and a full complement of tellers. It's an area where financial goals are realized and lives are transformed.
We have a lot of stalwarts who love this credit union, and so we at the helm have to do everything right and take care of our member owners. They're very important to us.
Every AGM, you'll be reminded that you're an owner. Right? And then when you see the progress that is made, you realize that you're a part of it.
HRCU has scheduled its 2026 annual general meeting for May 30th. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
After the break, where does Placentia end and St. Bite begin? Government steps in with a new commission to finally settle a long-running border dispute. But first, our special Teachers Day tribute video, honoring the incredible teachers who inspire, guide, and shape our future.
But not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting.
Sir, why is it that our Belizean dollar doesn't go up and down like that, sir?
Because Belize chose stability by fixing its exchange rate to support how our economy works. And that choice didn't happen by accident. But to understand it, we have to go back to the beginning. So in 1894, Belize introduced its first official dollar and fixed this exchange rate 1-to-1 with the US dollar. We traded with America in both directions, exporting timber, chicle, and importing most of what we needed from the United States. A fixed exchange rate helped to keep price changes more predictable for both sides of the trade.
But how did Belize make sure the rate stayed fixed?
So that same year, a currency board was created to issue local money and protect the fixed exchange rate. Every dollar issued was fully supported by foreign currency. Stability wasn't optional or by chance. The institutions to protect the value were built into the system. For decades, we stayed tied to the US dollar because of our trade. But in 1939, World War II changed the rules. Britain required its colonies to hold their foreign reserves in British pounds. Belize still maintained its 1-to-1 US link for trade, but with reserves now in sterling, the system was exposed to changes in Britain's currency. That vulnerability showed itself in 1949 when Britain devalued the pound. Because our reserves were held in British pounds, that devaluation passed directly into our currency, meaning more local dollars were needed to buy $1 US.
So that's when Belize decided to act?
Yes, Belize made a deliberate choice on May 11, 1976, to anchor our dollar again to the US in a way that matched our trade and financial reality. Our monetary authority, now the Central Bank of Belize, took responsibility for maintaining that stability through disciplined oversight backed by strong US dollar reserves.
So our Belize dollar has stayed at 2 Belize to 1 US for 50 years?
Yes, and for a small country like Belize, that kind of stability makes everyday decisions easier for businesses and for families.
So it's not just about the money in my hand, it's about knowing that my credit union money or my savings at the bank will keep its value no matter what happens out there.
Exactly. The peg protects us, so Belize can plan, trade, and save with confidence, even when the rest of the world is shifting.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progreso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about city. It's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Where does Placencia end and St. Vite begin? This may sound like a simple question, but for the people who live in those communities, the answer has never been officially settled, and that is finally about to change. The government has put together a 6-member independent commission with one job: to help sort out boundary disputes between 4 villages in the south that have gone unresolved for years. The commission is headed by Chief Magistrate Deborah Rogers and brings together experts from across government, the private sector, and the National Association of Village Councils. Now, they want to hear from you. A series of public sessions is being held in the affected communities over the coming weeks, and residents are being encouraged to show up, ask questions, and share their concerns.
Just for the records, Zenaida, there are only a few villages in Belize that have declared and established boundaries. I could give you 2, for example, San Jose Palmar in Orange Walk District and Western Paradise in the Belize District. These areas have specific boundaries. Other villages across the country don't have these boundaries, these declared gazetted boundaries. And so what these village councils and these communities have been operating under are what we call traditional boundaries. What people determine, well, my village starts here and end here. Roaring Creek starts at the bridge at Guanacaste and ends around the curve before we get to Camalote. And people say, well, that is my space. The lines have become extremely blurred in many instances over the years with development, with growth, with expansion. The Independent Commission is appointed by the minister to mediate the situation and to hear the views of the village council, key community stakeholders. And so these public consultation sessions that we're going to be having is part of the methodology that we're using to gather information. And incidentally, that starts tonight in Placencia, and we've invited the public to come out. It's going to be 6 p.m. tonight at the Placencia basketball court. And then tomorrow we'll be in St. Vite at the community center in St. Vite.
And one of the communities at the center of that boundary discussion is St. Vite. We spoke with St. Vite Village Council Chairperson Jose Aleman, who says both councils have already had the chance to make written submissions and respond to each other.
Well, obviously the committee, with reference to the Village Council Act, the minister, as explained by the Director of Local Government, has that power or that privilege to appoint an independent committee so that villages can identify their boundaries, etc. St. Vite and Placencia is no different. As you all know, we're among the 4 communities that are in dispute of our boundaries. And the dispute can be for many reasons. It could be for land expansion, it could be reference revenues, etc. However, we have a mandate as a council, and our people has given us our mandate. And as such, after the Independent Commission had created their terms of reference, they consulted with both councils, and both councils received the opportunity to have made submissions, and thereafter responded to each other's submission. And this weekend, we'll be given an opportunity for the Independent Commission to come into both communities as well, where they will be doing public hearings.
Officials warn that boundary disputes are likely to continue surfacing across the country, and village councils are being encouraged to work together early by signing memorandums of understanding to establish a clear starting point for future boundary mapping. Tonight, government says Maya land rights talks are progressing, but Maya leaders say they've stalled. Days after Christina Cox signaled a return to the Caribbean Court of Justice, Indigenous Affairs Minister Dr. Louis Zabaner rejects claims of a deadlock. He says both sides remain split on a key issue: how to define and map customary Maya lands, but insists disagreement is part of the process, not a breakdown. Zabane maintains government is committed to finding common ground and delivering long-awaited legislation to resolve one of Belize's most enduring disputes.
One of the things that we really looked at very carefully is the meaning of what is Maya communal land rights. What does that really mean? We looked, of course, at the draft bill that the government has put forward and the formula on how to determine the demarcation of the areas around a village. In the first instance, you have a formula in which every member of the village would be allocated 5 acres, not defined in a particular way like a circle or whatever. The village would determine that. From their end, they believe that that's a non-starter. They felt that their methodology of determining what their boundaries are is one in which that they have no space for negotiations because from their perspective it is based on customary land tenure, on the use of the forests for different things, for medicine, water sources, etc. So we said, well, listen, one formula will heal a land area, the other formula will also heal a land area. Can't we come together and have a hybrid where we are in a negotiation, so we all can't get everything that we're asking for in totality? And maybe that's what she described as a stalemate. For us, we don't see that as a stalemate.
Citing what they describe as a wide gap on core issues, the Maya Leaders Alliance announced they have applied to the Caribbean Court of Justice to seek clarification on the orders of their judgment, specifically on the procedure to identify Maya customary land. Earlier this week, Progreso FC went public with concerns over the condition of the People's Stadium in Orange Walk, pointing to broken changing rooms, no working bathrooms or showers, and players often forced to prepare for major matches without proper facilities. The post quickly went viral, and within days, action followed. The Belize Sports Council sent contractors to the stadium, and work began almost immediately on repairs, including benches, plumbing, and shower installations, upgrades that had reportedly been delayed for over 4 years. But while improvements are now underway, the club says it should not have taken a viral post to get results, and they insist there's still much more work to be done.
The main thing to highlight is, I guess it has a lot to do with professionalism, the boost it has for players. Because we're playing at a level where, if you were to compare any other country, every team has a usable changing room. I think it really helps with the mentality of the players. I can imagine there's a lot of other benefits when it comes to it. But the way it looks to be playing on such a high standard, and having to stand outside and getting the lectures by the coach on the field doesn't really look professional. Especially when you compare going to any other district, they at least have a change room. Right now, since we didn't have any facility to use, they will probably have to borrow somebody's bike to go use the bathroom at the clubhouse. So would have to borrow a vehicle, ask for a drop, or find a bush. Belize Sports Council has reached out, and this week they've sent multiple men, workers right now, and they're doing anything possible right now to at least have a usable home team changing room. One thing I am pleading is for a lot of the community to reach out. If there's anything that they can give, it will make up to fix up, even if we go toward the change room, the referee room, the fence of the stadium itself, the bleachers. There's a lot of things that needs to be fixed at the People's Stadium.
Novello thanked those who've already stepped up while urging more hands to join in so the stadium can finally meet the standard players deserve. Up next, he's 80, completely deaf, and still shaping champions. Meet one of the country's most respected coaches, Fred Evans.
Mother's May. Celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, StormGuard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Habet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms. The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter. Smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting, just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
He is 80 years old, he is completely deaf, and he is one of the most respected coaches in the country. Tonight, Sabrina Daly introduces us to Fred Evans, a man who refuses to let silence define his life or his legacy. Here is this week's Looking on the Bright Side.
On any given day at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex, dreams are alive and well. Athletes training, waiting for the next opportunity to wear their country's color and flag with pride. On the track, history maker Nyasha Harris is putting in the work, chasing a personal best, and then the one after that. On the field, discipline is on display. This is where winners are made, long before the world catches notice. Nice. And a face this track knows well, a man who has given his life to sports and mentorship, Fred Evans, still at it. At 80 years old, most people are slowing down. But Fred Evans is still very active. He's a gold medalist that still leaves people in awe.
I mean, seeing him competing, and he won. He got his gold medal, and I asked him how. He said, well, if I want my athletes to win gold, I as the coach also have to do my best and win a gold.
This is the standard Evans sets at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex. He doesn't just whistle from the sidelines. He represents Belize on the international stage at the Masters Championships. Still, there's a side to his leadership that some might find off-putting. Coach Evans lives in a world of complete silence.
Mid-90s, I realized that I had a hearing problem. Eventually, I lost all hearing, and hearing aid doesn't help.
For gold medalist Nyasha Harris, silence isn't a hurdle. It's just a different way of listening. At the track, these athletes have developed their own way of communicating with their coach.
During the years, it became really easy. We used the technology by typing to him on the phone, or our own way of charades or communication, meaning this is tomorrow or later on.
Because of this deep connection, Evans has become more than a coach. He is a benefactor. The modest, irregular stipend he receives from the Athletics Association rarely stays in his pocket. Instead, it's invested in track spikes and bottles of Powerade for kids who need it.
Mr. Evans comes with a wealth of knowledge, wealth of wisdom. Anything you want to know about track and field, Mr. Evans is the go-to person. I always refer to him as the AI of track and field.
Dylan Jones has witnessed this brilliance firsthand for decades. Long before they were teammates in the Masters category, he was a young student learning the fundamentals from the master himself.
So he has been a mentor of mine, and I was a member of the track team for many years, and she taught me all the fundamentals in terms of track and also the field events.
That mentorship now spans entire families. Audra Andrews once captured gold under Coach Evans back when he still had his hearing. Now she watches as he instilled those same values of discipline and resilience in her daughter, Willia.
It's a complete full circle, as we can see. He have trained generations upon generation. I'm telling my daughter, you're going to get one of the best, because I remember Mr. Evan and Mr. Morrison at the time, and I'm telling her, all those gold medals that you see I went out, represented Belize as well in these type of events, and it was Mr. Evans who was my trainer.
Through the years, that energy hasn't wavered. Despite the silence, Jones's mentor is still finding ways to leave a mark on the sport.
He has some records in Central America, and it's amazing that with all the, given the impediment that is before us or before him, you know, he is making waves in his own way, in his own right.
It's aerodynamic, so while it's traveling like that, the air hold it up.
As the sun sets over the track, Evans isn't thinking about the medals he's won or the herring he's lost. He is thinking about progress. For him, the fire of competition is the only thing that separates life from mere existence.
I am alive. To progress is to live. No progress is to exist. And that's the difference between living and I don't know when I will die, and I'm not in a hurry to die, but at the same time, I need to live.
And for Coach Fred, that progress is found in the sand of the triple jump pit and the spikes on his athletes' feet. He isn't just waiting for the end. He is busy living. Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.